Go for it, Gaston. 700,000. He's got 4.7 to play with. You can put 700,000 in. He was thinking about it. He said he was about to shove.
Mike said, go and move on, shove on him.
It was a nice card. Your mother is watching? Your mother is watching? Really? Very close to do that. It was the wrong card. Wrong gotcha.
It's going to be pretty cool, right? If you're from down this way, South America, massive event down here, this $10,000 buy-in, $5 million guaranteed event. You come down here, you sit down at the table, you get to the feature table, you got Mike Sexton, Isildur on there. That's kind of cool, right? And you're the chip leader, bossing away, just throwing some chips in.
It's a good feature table, that's for sure.
Isildur from the button, King 8 offsuit. He's going to raise it up.
See this Austrian guy? Does anybody know what his online screen name is? I should know who this guy is. It's probably like Chelsea 72 or something. I should definitely know who this Austrian guy is. And for some reason, I don't know who he is.
Again, don't know his online name, but Thomas Hammerall. His name, not a huge amount of
help to
live
us.
Clashes. But obviously, I'm sure an online player. I mean, pretty unusual, wouldn't it, to find just sort of a random Austrian in the field who's popped down to Rio to play without being an online player. You can assume he's either won a seat or has some PPLs.
Yeah. Chelsea 72 is one of the biggest grinders on party poker, and is one of the most successful players. So I'm not 100% sure who Chelsea 72 is, even though I've been told in the past who it is. It's kind of just went over my head.
But we can assume he's some Austrian.
It could easily be this guy at the feature table. It would make sense.
Is it wins that one, having paired his 8 on the turn? Well, that is Thomas sat in between Isildur 1 and Mike Sexton. See, someone asking, is this day 1 or 2 of the main? It is day 1B. Ludo through from day 1A. Hence we have him helping out in the booth today, as was Midi, who was in here a short while ago. Gaston opening undergun +1. Mike whipping out a 3-bet. A lot smaller this time, though, Ludo.
It's obviously too small. Gaston is going to have to call. But it's one of those kind of ones where, like, he's finding out where he is.
Right, if he trusts Gaston not to 4-bet light, kind of knocks everyone else out the way, gets the player pot in position with 9s.
This is a Phil Hellmuth hand. He's put a wee tickler in to find out where he is. And at this moment, he's only been called, so he thinks he's good, which he is.
Ace, deuce, 4, rainbow. No help for Gaston.
I would like a little small bet here from Mike, something like 65k.
Going to flick in 100 into 210.
And that will do the job.
Again, obviously, I bet Mike's not really getting called anything by worse, is he? But he's just knocking out the equity like Gaston has with this 25% with the two other cards.
The 100 is too much, obviously, because 65 kind of does the same job. You're only wanting to knock off hands like King, Queen, King, Jack, Jack 10, Queen 10. Hands that could possibly get there against the nines without him having an ace.
And I see a question. Where can I find the chip counts for this tournament? Well, head on over to partypokerlive.com. You can watch the stream there whilst following along with the updates from the outer tables, chip counts, etc. And of course, you can enter the question of the day competition whilst you're there.
Do you know how much money I've lost with ace 5 of spades in the last few years?
You tell me.
Infinites.
Infinite, yeah?
Yeah.
Just...
A three bet like ace 5 of spades. 3-bet no, not 3-bet shoved. 4-bet shoved it 3 times in the space of a month. Every time I ran into the goods.
Yeah. You should win one of those, though, right?
Did I say 4-bet shoved? Yeah, 4-bet shoved.
I mean, you should win 1 out of the 3 times. Are they supposed to?
Lost every one. Couldn't believe it.
Look at this. Isildur whipping out 3-betting pocket 4s from the hijack.
He's gone for advance.
Ricardo 8s in the cutoff. Can't do anything, surely.
Oh, but Fabian is all in.
All right, 8-16.
He might just
chips.
He might just shove all in. He might make it 300 odds.
It's a lot of chips, but yeah, Ace King just so strong, and we've seen Thomas get a little out of line.
No, he's moving his cards as if he might fold. Oh, I knew it.
No,
I knew it. Oh no, Fabian, you can't fold there. You can't fold. I knew the minute he'd moved his cards the way that he moved them, he was going to fold. I was like, oh no, he's going to fold.
What's Thomas going to do?
Oh,
is he going to do a Ludo?
No, he's never going to. He can't fold. I don't think he has to peel. He's either going to peel or else he's going to shove all in. I don't think he's ever folding. If he folds, I owe you a beer.
Oh, I'll take that.
Okay.
I like that free roll. The beers are free, right?
I'll make an effort. I'll make an effort to go and get the beer.
Well, he is reaching for chips. No, he's doing a little count up, though.
I think both are fine. Call and shove's fine. Both are fine.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think he's folding. The other guy, when he touched the cards the way that he did, I knew he was folding.
Yeah, he did the big, picked them up quite high,
He
wasn't
picked
it?
him up and he didn't really mind if one of them was shown.
Right, that's the thing. When
By
they pick them
mistake.
up high, they know.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas thinking this one through.
I like
Three
Isildur.
bet.
I like what Isildur done there. He went to his chips and picked him up.
Yeah.
As if he like he was going
Oh, he's got the
as
fall
if he was going
through.
to call.
Ludo, that is the power of Isildur.
And
He puts fear into people's hearts.
Now I need to go and get you a beer at the bar. It's not about paying
It's a
for
free
it.
bar, though.
It's a free bar. It's about going to the fucking bar and getting you the beer.
Well,
But Isildur done something there. Did you see that? He picked up chips as if he was going to call him if he did shove.
yeah.
And live players would understand that that's like a blocker. But I don't know how experienced this gentleman is from Austria.
Isildur getting a lay down from Ace King, more importantly, and Ace 5 from the opener. This is it. They just get scared of him. Kevin on the button. Ace, jack. He will raise that one up. Gaston, Ludo defending at 6-4. No, pardon me. He's 3-betting 6-4 from the big blind.
Well, Kevin's never 4-betting. He's always calling. I've just arrived in the booth. I don't know how often he's been 3-betting Gaston.
He arrived not that much before you did, and
that's fine. Then he just calls.
He's been smashing away.
Yeah, he just calls. Then obviously.
I mean, again, these guys won't really know any hands that have been played thus far. But if I was in Kevin's shoes, I'd have seen this guy's been playing a lot of hands.
But you can't really go bust here pre-flop. This is lovely jubbly.
Jack
Kevin
7-4. Kevin with top pair. Gaston bottom pair. And Gaston reaching 4 chips.
If a 5 of spades comes on the turn, that will be interesting. I think Kevin just always just calls here. He doesn't need to raise.
He does flat. 400k in the pot heading to the turn. 3 of hearts. Scary card.
I don't know what Gaston's going to do. He has got some showdown, so he can check call.
Well, he does check. Kevin top pair, top kicker on the 3-heart board. Haven't been 3-bet pre-flop. This is a spot here where he's going to bet the turn and with check back river.
I think
amount.
I think he checks back the turn. Sometimes, like he's going to bet it this time, but like if Gaston has like ace king or ace queen with a heart, he's going to barrel the turn. So when he checks,
you don't have to protect this match.
I don't think he ever has a heart. So like, you don't need to. Well, you are kind of losing value to a certain degree at the same time as you don't need to protect. I don't mind the bet and I don't mind the check.
140 is going to get the job done. Gaston gives up the hand.
What about yourself, James? Would you like a bet or a check there on the turn?
I'd rather bet there and then evaluate checking back river rather than checking back there. And
I'm just trying to think.
You're right. I understand what you're saying. He has less high hearts in his hand than usual because he would keep barreling there.
Like, just try to think.
No, look, we got Marty Mattis in the chat on Party Poker Live saying, Ludo, you were looking rough yesterday. Way too quiet. Hope you're feeling all right, mate.
I was not quiet at all. I was talking to Phil Helmuth, having a bit of banter with Philip.
Big PH.
Big Planet Hollywood.
And Marty, yeah, I assume he's...
I did catch your eye a few times, but I tried to wave and say hello, but you were chatting away to seat 1. I think it was a female poker player in seat 1.
Ricardo, 32,000 under the gun +2. That is the minimum raise. I'd say Marty Mattis, nice to have him on the stream. The man leading the PPL $1 million leaderboard.
And yes, Marty, I was slightly rough. I had a few beers the night before.
And I see the guys chatting on Twitch, talking about Isildur grabbing for his trips there, saying it's an angle. It's not an angle. He just picked up some chips. It wasn't like a...
It's definitely not an angle. There's 2 ways you can look at it. It's like, is he doing that to stop you from shoving, or is he doing that to... It depends on how he thinks the player's going to take it. If he thinks the player's inexperienced, he might think, I'm going to grab my chips because that will stop him from shoving. But if he's doing it against an experienced player that understands live tells, he might do that to mess with the guy's head. So now it might swing the other way, then it might swing the other way. And it keeps swinging. It could be a double, a treble, a quadruple bluff. So it's kind of irrelevant. It's definitely not an angle. It's part of the game if your head's up. It's the same as speech play. If your head's up, it should be allowed. And I encourage it fully because there's only 2 of you in the pot.
I agree. Eric, 9-7 of diamonds from the cutoff, opens it up, 35,000 to play. Gaston on the button with 7s. He's going to flick in the call. Mike flicks in from the small with King Queen. Would you like to see him maybe throw a little 3-bet there against cutoff open and a button flat?
I like to. I would love to see the squeeze from the King Queen offsuit here. I don't think the flat's bad. Obviously, it's,
No, I mean, as long as we're playing the hand, right?
the main thing is we've got enough equity. Obviously, we've got 44%. Our favourite 4 ways, but it's just that number 1 position when you're playing out the small blind multi-way. It's okay when your head's up, or maybe 3 ways, but when there's 2 behind you, 3 behind you, it's one of those ones. But I don't mind both.
Oh, he's flipped pretty good here. King 5-3, 2 diamonds. Eric does have a diamond draw. I haven't been the people.
I think Eric should check here. He really wants to get to see the turn card, and it's king high. There's a lot of kings there. Just because you've got a flush draw doesn't mean you need to just bet it.
All right, and Gaston quickly bets when check to 65,000.
It's GTO to bet the 9-7 of diamonds. Sorry, to check the 9-7 of diamonds. Right. I apologise.
Oh, he's checked. Mike ripping out the check raise.
I like it.
With top pair against Gaston.
I like it a lot.
And we're now Eric's.
Eric might just have to fold here, unfortunately.
Yeah, can't put a chip in, surely.
Well, the thing is, like, Mike is never bluffing, and he could easily have him crushed with the diamonds.
Right, the bluffs are diamonds, aren't they?
Yeah, the bluffs are diamonds.
And they can't fold to a 600k stack.
And it's multi-way now. It's 3 ways, so he has to rely on the play on the button not having diamonds. Mike being able to fold something. I mean, so like it's just a nightmare situation. You have to bin the 9-7 of diamonds.
And look at this. Gaston flicking in the call with the 7s. Non-believer in the house.
Well, Mike has only made it 100 on top. Look at this card. This is interesting to see if Gaston tries to take it away from Mike.
All right, Gaston perhaps could represent like the nut diamond draw.
Yeah, if Gaston was to bet pretty big, like 300 or something, I don't think 150 is going to do the job. He would have to bet like 300.
Mike checks. Gaston bets 150, which is about a third of the pot. Mike doesn't waste too much time in flicking in the call.
Now, the bluff will definitely get through, I think, if he does go for it.
Right, the 10 of clubs completes backdoor clubs. And Gaston quickly reaching for chips.
I think as long as he bets at least half the pot, he wins this pot.
He's betting more than that. Those blue chips, 100,000 a piece, goes 525.
Well, obviously, the way the hand's been played, it's kind of been a bit of a nightmare. But I'm saying, like, Mike having the queen of diamonds, this is not a good call.
Right. You want your opponent to
I'm saying that if he calls, he's good, but it's not a good call, theoretically.
But it's Gaston.
If Mike finds the call here, phenomenal. But theoretically, he should fold. Oh, look at this.
Mike's going for the live read.
He's went for a live read.
I mean, this is one of these things you sit here, you know what they got, so you look at a smile like that, and I think it's a nervous smile.
That was a very nervous smile.
It did look that way, but we know it's nervous because he's got 7s.
Let's see if Mike can pick up on it. Hopefully he can and pick up this bluff. He's still humming and hawing. So here we go. Would he really have a nervous face there if he's only got 300k behind? It's not as if he's nervous about him shoving all in. It's only another 300.
Right.
So it's one of those that's a massive live tell.
Like you're making a medium value bet.
Yeah, that is a massive live tell. And do you know what this is years of if he calls? This is absolute years of. This is insane. This is good. If he calls here, this is just years of like knowledge and like instinct. This is just knowledge and instinct of years of playing poker.
Doesn't feel right to him, does it? He's thinking, What hand does Gaston bet the flop four-way, call my check raise, then bet turn, bet river with on this run out?
The brain's a fascinating organ. He's looked over
But
and he's seen a nervous smile.
What does Gaston play
And
this way?
something's going through in his mind.
Ludo, what does he play this way? Though, what are the hands? Is literally what, a set of fives or a set of threes?
Ace-2 of diamonds, ace-4 of diamonds, ace-5 of diamonds. There's a lot of ace-X of diamonds.
Yeah, Mike
And he
flicks
makes
in the
the
call.
call. What a
Sees
call.
a pair of sevens.
What a call. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just looked over at him and he's seen that nervous smile and it's went into his brain and he's just acknowledged the fact that it's that instinctiveness and he's made the call.
Yeah,
the brain is a fascinating organ.
I just don't see that there are that many hands that Gaston's going to bet turn and river with when being check raised on the flop. Does he go that big with with one pair aces? Well, Gaston all smiles, but it's Mike, the one that's stacking up the chips.
There's Mike. Picked up a bit of confidence with that massive call there.
Yeah.
And he's now opening the button with the 8-7, which is fine, obviously. Gets it through.
Cooking with gas, Ludo.
He is cooking with gas.
Cooking with Gaston.
Cooking with Gaston.
There we go.
Yes.
Got some of those chips out of the rack. Fabian, under the gun. Well, it's Gaston from the hijack with 4-5 offsuit. Not missing a trick here. He's going to get it through. Another light open. Well, guys, we are approaching the first break of our coverage. First break happens to also be our last break of the coverage because we are only covering the last 4 hours of day 1B. I can tell you that after the break, we will return with this same cast of characters. And I'm all for that, Ludo. Got Gaston in there.
Here's a good question here from Chief. Ludo, what better hands does Mike come to the river with that line? Yeah, as I mentioned during the hand, I'm saying like, it's one of those ones. I'm going to have to think about that and come back to you after the break.
Kevin under the gun. Ace 10, raising it up. 35,000 to play. Action all the way around to Fabian in the big blind, 6-3 offsuit. Assume he's going to... Well, he's flicked in the call. In fact, I was expecting to see a fold there. But just over a min raise, Kevin is going to get action. Ace, Jack 6, both players flopping a pair. Kevin is going to c-bet an Ace, Jack 6 flop, having opened under the gun.
Starting stack was 1 million chips.
Well, Fabian, this is a bit fine, Ludo. Obviously peeled 6-3 off against an under the gun raise. Getting himself in a bit of a spot here, calling the c-bet on Ace, Jack 6. 3 on the turn. Assuming he checks, what size is Kevin going with here?
It's a 2 on the turn, not a 3.
2 on the turn, pardon me.
If it was a 3, it would be
three,
loving
things
it.
would be a little bit different, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Kevin should just size up here, I think. 120. He beats a lot of his weak aces, and he can still have 6x of spades, Jack X of spades. So he has sized up to pot.
Yeah. Fraction over the pot, 165 the bet.
Kevin plays very good poker.
Fabian does let it go. And I see a question. Did Enyo and Sam buy in today? They were up forever yesterday. Well, if you remember, the top 15 players in the 1K Rio Open did get the top 15 players, pardon me, did get seats to the 10K by main event. So they are for sure in today for free. Because, you know, the guys who win 6 figures the day before need a free buy, don't they, Ludo? Squeaky Shoes asking, what are the payouts? So the payouts have not been confirmed yet. As far as I know, at least. Of course, there is overlay in the tournament. 500 players needed to hit the guarantee. And I believe there were 439 perhaps. I think it was 61 short Ludo, something like that. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on it. You're midday too, so you must be keeping a keen eye on it.
No, you're spot on. It was 61 short.
Ricardo on the button.
Easy call for Kevin. It's a straight up min raise, and he's on the big blind. I think Ricardo should have made it 40k here, pre-flop.
Ace 9-8. Kevin flopping at second pair with 5 of diamonds. Ricardo top pair.
$45. That's good. Kevin's not going anywhere. I'm surprised he doesn't have slightly more than 23% equity. It looks like he's got a reasonable hand here against the ace-10.
I mean,
if I was to look here,
well, he does now,
and not see the equities, I would think that maybe Kevin has maybe 26, 27%. To see 23, I was surprised.
Kevin checks again. Ricardo checking back on that scary-looking card, and now Kevin has 100% equity. Ludo knew.
No, I'm saying, like, when you look at that hand, he's got the pair, he's got the backdoor straight draw. He can make the 2 pair, he can make the backdoor straight. But the backdoor straight is why.
Backdoor straight draw.
No, the backdoor straight draw is the one that knocks it down to 23%, isn't it? Because if it comes 6-7, he's losing to the 10. That's why. We figured it out.
Ludo Solver working hard here in Rio.
Well, Kevin's still got some bluffs here.
120 is the bet. I mean, what are his bluffs here? Just 7-10?
7-8. 8-10, 8 jack. Try to think if an 8 is a bit too much showdown. I know for a fact 9 is.
Or Ricardo
So he
with an
wouldn't bet.
ace.
I don't think he would bet a 9. I don't think.
Not gonna fold. And 9s and 5s.
He's still got enough bluffs. He's got like 5-6, 5-7, 8-7, 8-10, 8-6.
Action starts with Gaston under the gun. He's going to let it go. Folds all the way around to Fabian on the button, King 3. He's going to raise it up, Ludo.
Atenção, jogadores do meio ambiente. Alternando em curso, o torneio está em break de 15 minutos.
And his raise gets through. And Ludo, it looks like we have reached the break, given the fact that everyone's left the table.
Yeah, Eric's folded the big blind.
Fabian's keeping all those cards. But these players are on a 15-minute break. When we come back, that's how things look heading into 10K, 20K. Gaston still the chip leader with 178 big blinds. Isildur not too far behind with 131. Mike Sexton, the only other player over 100 bigs, courtesy of picking up that bluff. Of course, the two Austrians still the shortest stacks. Please do, guys, rejoin us in 15 minutes for more coverage of the Million South America main event, Day 1B, here at the Coco Cabana Palace.
Queremos que cuentes con más opciones. Hemos creado un exclusivo bankroll digital, un instrumento que está únicamente diseñado para los jugadores de póker. Sea cual sea tu capacidad, sin dinero, sin límite, libertad total. Gana a través de satélites desde tan solo 1 centavo. Crece tus fondos. Gasta tu dinero. Es así de simple. Con Party Poker Like Dollars, compite en los eventos más grandes del mundo. Viaja a increíbles lugares de póker. Juega torneos regulares con nuestros increíbles aliados. Tú decides. No dejes que el dinero se entrometa en tu juego. Gánalos, gástalos y aumenta tus fondos con Party Poker Like Dollars.
Threes, fours, and sixes, right?
Well, it's supposed to fold in it, but
Wow, Julio finds a 4 on the turn. Fabian checks it.
135.
To Julio, bets 135. I mean, what sort of hands? I mean, it's a little odd to have a lead range in a 3-way pot on this board, isn't it? So does it make it a little difficult to try and give someone a range that peels and then bets this turn? Or I mean, we can see obviously a fours in there, but he doesn't have many fours, does he?
no.
Oh, quads on the river for Julio. Fabian, I guess just worried about bigger overpairs at this stage, right?
Yeah, he's going to do his dough here.
Gonna do his dough. Fabian's first hand at the table.
Just counting how much he wants to win.
He's going for near pot, I think. 500 in there. 575 the bet going over pot. Have some of that. I mean, what bluffs does Julio have here, Mitty?
Don't know, I've not run this sim. I mean, you can have ace-5, right? Ace-5 suited with a backdoor on the flop. Also, to be fair, you probably should be flowing with like quite a lot of nonsense. You know, like even like king, queen of hearts stuff, maybe.
Right.
I would have thought. What was the sizing on the flop?
I think it's slightly over. Oh no, it's slightly less than half, wasn't it? Let out.
Yeah.
Oh, Fabian's kind of made this. I feel like he's made it a little bit difficult for himself, having led the flop.
Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? They expect to be bluffing here than to actually have a hand. Do you know what I mean? Because you just go bet, bet, bet on this run out.
Yeah.
And the other guy is a bit of a coffin. But here you're like,
Oh. It's a full house though, Mitty, isn't it? It's hard to pull full houses in Texas Hold'em.
yeah, I forget that theory or whatever. No one folds a full house. No one folds a good hand.
He's in the tank, torturing him. No shot clock, of course, here on day one of the Millions main event. And he's gonna. He pulled
That's
the
a
card
good fold.
all
I like
the way
that
down.
fold there from Fabian. He's done well.
Now it's 3 ways, so he has to rely on the play on the button not having diamonds. Mike being able to fold something. I mean, so like it's just a nightmare situation. You have to bin the 9-7 of diamonds.
And look at this, Gaston flicking in the cool with the sevens. Non-believer in the house.
Well, Mike has only made it 100 on top. Look at this card. This is interesting to see if Gaston tries to take it away from Mike.
All right, Gaston perhaps could represent a hand like the nut diamond draw.
Yeah, if Gaston was to
Wow.
bet pretty big, like 300 or something, I don't think 150 is going to do the job. He would have to bet like 300.
Mike checks. Gaston bets 150, which is about a third of the pot. Mike doesn't waste too much time in flicking in the call.
Now, the bluff will definitely get through, I think, if he does go for it.
Right, the 10 of clubs completes backdoor clubs, and Gaston quickly reaching for chips.
I think as long as he bets at least half the pot, he wins this
He's
pot.
betting more than that. Those blue chips, 100,000 a piece, goes 525.
Well, obviously, the way the hand's been played, it's kind of been a bit of a nightmare. But I'm saying, like, Mike having the queen of diamonds, this is not a good call.
Right. You want your
But
opponent to
I'm saying, like, if he calls, he's good, but it's not a good call, theoretically.
But it's Gaston.
If Mike finds the call here, phenomenal. But theoretically, he should fold. Oh, look at
Mike's going for the live read.
this. He's went for a live read.
I mean, this is one of these things. You sit here, you know what they got, so you look at a smile like that, and I think it's a nervous smile.
That was a very nervous.
It did look that way, but we know it's nervous because he's got sevens.
Let's see if Mike can pick up on it. Hopefully, he can and pick up this bluff. He's still humming and hawing. So here we go. Would he really have a nervous face there if he's only got 300k behind? It's not as if he's nervous about him shoving all in. It's only another 300.
Right.
So it's one of those that's a massive live tell.
Like you're making a medium value bet.
Yeah, that is a massive live tell. And do you know what this is years of? If he calls, this is absolute years of. This is insane. This is good. If he calls here, this is just years of like knowledge and like instinct. This is just knowledge and instinct of years of playing poker.
Doesn't feel right to him, does it? He's thinking, what hand does Gaston bet the flop four-way, call my check raise, then bet turn, bet river with on this run out?
The brain's a fascinating organ. He's looked over and he's seen a nervous smile.
What does Gaston play this way?
Something's going through in his mind.
Ludo, what does he play this way though? What are the hands? Just literally, what, a set of fives or a set of threes?
Ace-2 of diamonds, Ace-4 of diamonds, Ace-5 of diamonds. There's a lot of Ace-X of diamonds.
Yeah, Mike flicks in the call.
What a
Sees
call.
a pair of sevens.
What a call. Honest.
Welcome back to the Copacabana Palace here in Rio de Janeiro. We are back for the final 2 hours of the main event, Day 1B coverage. I am rejoined by Ludo. How are we doing, Ludo?
Oh, good. Nice wee break.
You went to get some popcorn, right?
I did. I got some sweet popcorn. That was lovely, jubbly.
Yeah, sweet. I see. I'm a salt popcorn man.
I don't mind a mixture, but I just went for sweet this time.
That's how the chip counts look on this table. Is Gaston way out in front? 4.5 million in chips with 2 hours to play on day 1. Thomas shortest with just 19 big blinds. Of course, no chance to re-enter this one. You only play 1A and 1B, 1 bullet each flight. That is it.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got more of a vibe like the World Series about it. Once you're out, you're out. And if you want to play it's a freeze out, you play 1B.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of just the sort of idea of playing just this freeze out. It's a title.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm loving it. That's the way it should be. It makes it a level playing field.
Rain. 50.
So Ludo, first hand back. Fabian raising it up from the cutoff. Gaston, our man, action man, with 10s in the big blind. Obviously, we saw him run that bluff on Mike.
At least 200,000.
Rain. 125.
175. So you're going 3.5. I guess you can go perhaps a little smaller because Fabian only has $1 million back, but you still like.
I think 175 is like the absolute minimum you can go here.
Yeah, so he's gone just under 4x, but against a smaller stack.
Yeah, but Fabian's still got 50 big blinds behind.
Right. Well, Fabian will fold his ace-5.
50-50.
I like it.
It was definitely not 50-50. There he is, the party poker chairman.
Boss, look at that jacket. Party poker diamond. That's the highest level, right? In the
That is
VIP.
the highest. That is the highest level.
It's an online grinder, isn't he? Oh man.
That is the highest level. That is the elite level.
I know, obviously, you play a lot of the time on.
Players from level number 3, big max, few blinds, 4,000, 8,000, big blinds, 8,000.
Yeah, you obviously play loads on party. What's your status? Other than, of course, Team Pro. Everyone's favorite Team Pro.
I've been playing a lot of live poker recently, so I've not been playing as much on party poker as some of the other party poker ambassadors and professionals that we've got. So I'll be getting back into the swing of things when there's not much live poker kicking about my neck of the woods. But you know me, I love live poker.
You do. That's what Ludo needs to be in there in the mix, chatting to people.
Yeah, I'll represent the brand for the UK especially. I'll go to every GUK PT stop and all that kind of stuff. All my local events. And do the good of poker for the UK community.
It's where you're at home, isn't it, Ludo?
Yeah, that's my home.
Around. There are not many people you don't know in UK poker.
I'm pretty sure near enough every UK poker player knows me.
Ricardo, under the gun +1. Going to raise it up with his 4s.
See, this is interesting. Ricardo's just straight up min raised. It's one of those ones. Well, we don't know what sizing he's went at this blind level so far. But I'm pretty sure I did see him go 2.5x quite a lot previous level. So he wants to kind of possibly give himself a shot to see the flop with the 4s if he does get 3-bet.
Right.
So he's kind of went smaller so that it costs him
a little bit less.
A little bit less, yeah.
55 bigs as well now.
If he was to go 50, the guy 3-bets to 170. It's another 120. If he goes 40, the guy 3-bets to 130. It's only another 90. That kind of way to look about it.
King Jack 5. He's up against Gaston, who's peeled with 9 deuce from the big Ludo.
It's not from the big. There's a D
Oh, sorry,
beside
from
his
the
name.
button. I meant
From the Butanga.
from the button. It's and because Gaston's been mixing up, playing a lot of hands, maybe Ricardo more inclined to see bet.
Well,
see, if you know your man's peeling with a 9 deuce, then you got to bet this flop, right?
Well, if he's peeling 9 deuce suited, it's fine to see bet that flop. But he has got like a range advantage in the sense that he is under the gun +1, but still, it's kind of like a tricky situation. There's 3 overcards. He's burning a lot of money a lot of the time.
Action to Gaston. This time King 5 suited.
Oh, this is fine on the cutoff.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, he's been playing a mixture here. Flatting 9-2 of diamonds in the button is not what I call good poker. But he has got 4.5 million, and that is a lot more than what I've bagged already. So, I can't say much about that exact situation.
No, it's fine. Obviously,
It must be working for him so far if he's got up to 4.5 million.
right.
He must
I mean,
play
but
quite. He must play pretty loose.
It's better to be raising these bad hands and flatting with them in position, right?
Yeah,
If
for
you're gonna
sure.
come in
I'm
and
saying, like,
play aggressively.
There is no option with 9-2 of diamonds on the button. It's just a straight fold. It's not a good hand 2-3 bet, first of all,
Right.
and it's not a good hand to call. But
Well,
I'm saying that's
he
the.
opened here and Thomas obviously 3-bet jammed ace-6 suited.
It's a fantastic jam, obviously. If he's playing the cards that he's playing, it's an easy jam with ace-6.
Intact 25 asking why is Isildur not aging? That is a great question.
I'm surprised. He must have put himself through some stressful situations in his younger years.
Yeah, he just,
But he might have aged, and then all of a sudden, the fact that he's took the foot off the gas, got some beauty back. Who knows?
I see some people asking about changing the quality of the stream because not everyone is capable of streaming 1080p. Well, I can tell you that on mypartypokerlive.com, the stream will flow a lot more smoothly for you if you are getting buffering on Twitch. And whilst you're there on mypartypokerlive.com, you can, of course, enter the question of the day competition, Ludo.
And what is that?
Question is, who won the Rio Open late last night? If you know the question, head on over, fill out the form, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win one of the 5 golden tickets.
I got a golden ticket.
And with a golden ticket, you can enter Sunday's free roll, where the first prize is a WSOP circuit event seat here in September.
Well, this is going to be a quick hand.
Gaston finally finds a hand and finds a flop. Ace King on Ace 9 through.
The fact that it's ace high, you can't really check raise 7-5. It's actually quite a good combo to check raise on certain boards. If the ace wasn't there and it was like 3-9, we'll say for instance 3-9 deuce with 2 spades. It's actually a reasonable hand to check raise.
Right, lots of good turn cards.
Well,
Give you extra outs.
Pyle would have that in there, I'm pretty sure.
It's one of your bluffs. So again, if you are struggling with the quality of the stream, try it on partypokerlive.com. You will have more success. We ourselves had this issue here last night and were watching it on partypokerlive.com, and it would run smoothly there.
Kevin looks pretty gangster with those shades on.
Pretty cool dude, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy. Do you want to have a wee side bet on when Mike takes off his jacket? He's obviously come back.
Won't.
He's come back from the break and he's a bit chilly. So he's decided to keep the jacket on, but I'm pretty sure at some point it will come off. So what do you want to say? What do you want to do?
He's keeping it on.
So you're going to just go for it? You're going to say he's going to keep it on all the way? Okay, I'm going to say he's going to take it off at some point.
100 reals.
100, yep. That is a bet.
100 reals. Sounds more balling when you're betting reals, doesn't it?
Sounds like a balling bet.
The fact that it's 20 quid is, you know.
Yeah, it is 20 quid. 20 quid's 20 quid.
Yeah. 20 quid spends nicely here in Rio. If you have a fancy coming down for a little poker stop. Goes a long way. Is it a C-bet? His gut shot draw and backdoor nut hearts on Jack Deuce 3. Fabian calling with bottom pair and backdoor nut spades.
Isildur can barrel off here. He's on the button. So he does have some 4-5s.
He snap checks back though.
He has all the 4-5 suited. He would open that on the button. I'm surprised he didn't just fire it.
Goes check, check. Happy to take a showdown against misdraws.
I think I like the barreling with that hand there.
I think obviously he's played with Fabian all day, so for as long as we know anyway. So maybe he's thinking, well, Fabian's just given up all the time, and when he does check call, he's always end up with something. So
we decided just to keep this feature table. We didn't mix it up.
Correct.
Is that
Isildur?
It's Isildur, yeah, fair enough. And Mike Sexton.
And more importantly, from my point of view, Gaston. He's the one.
Gaston's the one that's forcing the action. He's making it interesting, and it's some interesting hands.
Russo 333 asking Ludo, are you enjoying Brazil?
Doesn't matter where I am, I always enjoy everywhere, apart from possibly Stoke.
Wow. Getting Stoke, huh?
Yeah, one time I went down to Stoke for a GPS, and down by that I mean from Scotland, so we have to go down south.
Yes.
So went down to Stoke for a GPS tournament, and it was probably the worst stop that I've ever been to.
Not a fan of Stoke. Eh?
So apart from that, it doesn't make a difference if I'm in Edinburgh, even London, a place that I don't really love. I'm saying, like, still enjoy it, have a good time, meet up with friends. Fantastic, like, clubs and bars and all that kind of stuff. You can still enjoy yourself to a certain degree, even though you don't like the place. I'm not a big fan of London. I just don't know why that is. I've just never been a big fan.
Anyone from Stoke, very sorry, but, you know.
Yeah, I apologise to the people that from Stoke.
Ludo's opinions do not reflect those of Party Poker in this instance. Gaston opening again. Thomas 3-bet jamming again. Yeah, Ace King suit, of course, that will get through.
Right, come on, Mike, take the jacket off.
Keep it on. I'm kind of free rolling if he busts as well. Not that I want Mike to bust, but I just get you there. Where he's got
too many chips. I would never have put that bet on if it was short stacked.
Ah, look at that.
See,
That's why you're a shark.
I'm saying, like, I've got this in my locker. We know he's going to make it to the end of the day, so I've got a full day of sweat. A full 2 levels of sweat.
Yeah, we do have this and one more level to play. Next level it'll be 12-24, is that right? You obviously had some chips last night.
Jawohl.
And then you're coming back to 15:30, I presume?
Jawohl.
Gaston raises again. Pardon me, calls this time from under the gun. Open a couple times as well, but got jammed on, deciding he's going to limp in. Nice to see some adjustment.
Kevin obviously tags along. Eric's going to just check 9-7, obviously. Jawohl means yes in German.
Okay.
One of the only German words I know.
For 3-3, Kevin flopping best. Decides to check in this 3-way pot.
Lots of Swedes in the building. I've not seen many of them, actually.
I think we got someone saying, just stop the play and award Isildur first prize. Waste of time, this.
No. I will beat Isildur heads up if I get him heads up.
How good would that be?
Me against Isildur, that would be fantastic.
That'd be a dream, right?
Jawohl.
Checks to Gaston on the turn. He's going to bet 40k.
I think Kevin's going to look him up.
Yeah, it seems Seems like he's going to allow Gaston as much rope as he can.
Now, Gaston might get this through if he bets, but he's not. In the sense that there was no flush draw on the turn, so what does he represent if he does bet? He shouldn't really have many bluffs, should he? But maybe
Gaston.
maybe Kevin, it depends what sizing he goes, obviously.
And Gaston got caught out with those 7s. So
Yeah.
when Kevin saw that, he must be like, whoa, what is going on here?
Well, he got stubborn. The fact that Mike Sexton only check raised to small. It's one
Yeah,
of, and he did end up having a hand that was reasonable. It would be better for him to have pocket 8s without a diamond, because that way he doesn't bet, like he doesn't block like 6-7, 5-7, all these kind of combos. But 7s with no diamond wasn't the absolute worst to call the check raise. But looking back on it, obviously we've got to now think more of the. Well, I don't think the two of them are thinking that kind of style. I think they're just playing good live poker. To the eyes, anyway. To the entertainment value.
I hope you guys are enjoying the entertainment. Just loving having Isildur on the feature.
And it will probably complete.
Do you think it's nice getting to this stage of your poker career when you're Isildur where you think, I don't have to check which table I'm on? It's probably just the feature. Just walk straight up there. It's probably my table, right?
I don't know if that's a good thing.
King, Queen, Jack.
It's great for us, but I'm saying for the player, it does give a lot of information away. It penalises the player, unfortunately, even though everyone wants to see him, and it's good that we get to see some of the plays that he makes at times.
Gaston going to bet his deuce when check 2 on the turn. Favorite hand, 7 deuce. Miko asking what time is it over there? It is 10 to 11.
Is it just me, or does Gaston doesn't look like he's got 4.5 million? How far do the chips slide down there? That doesn't look anywhere near.
You're quite right. 100Ks are the blue chips.
The orange chips are 25Ks.
Correct.
And the other chips that are kind of blackish purple, they're 5Ks. He has nowhere near 4.5 million. I think we're going to have a double check on his stack. I'm surprised I've just clocked that.
Is it another one +1 King Queen? Kevin in the cutoff, ace, jack of spades. Just a call with this hand, right?
No, 3-bet and call's fine. Both of them are fine.
He's gonna just flat.
Especially, I'm saying, like, I don't mind the call. I don't mind the 3-bet. It's a mixture here.
And Eric just clear jam, right?
Yes.
27 bigs, 28 bigs, pardon me.
Yeah, snap jam. He can't do anything else here. He can't 3-bet. He can 3-bet if he wants, but I'd rather the jam. It's not a lot of room there. I mean, it's just a snap jam. Kevin will have a bit of a hum and a haw and probably fold. It's 515 into 700. He's not going to be happy about it and hum and haw and fold. And the fact that it's suited, it's a bit annoying, a bit tilting.
Lets it go. What's he doing? Ace Queen suited. I guess he has to call.
Ace Queen off's like one of those ones that he's probably taken an extra 20 or 30 seconds and made up his mind. I don't mind the call. I don't mind the fold. Ace Queen suited as a call.
Eric, 35 bigs, having got that jam through.
But I think maybe Kevin just 3-bets Ace Queen offsuit. Who knows? Ace queen suited sometimes as well. Same as ace jack. Ace jack off, ace jack suited. You can decide to 3-bet, decide to flat. You can just do a mixture with ace jack and ace queen offsuit or suited. It's totally up to you. In certain situations, in certain spots. And that was one of those ones where it could be a mixture. He's at early doors. He's under the gun +1. The original opener. Kevin will probably open this on the hijack, I think. Yeah. It's like meh, but what can you do? I think he's got to open it.
Yeah. Right. Be opening this ace-9. Thomas from the big 8-6 of diamonds.
It's a snap open, obviously, with the stacks behind them, actually. I just realised that. Totally different, obviously, of some big stacks behind them, and they're very, very good players. It'd be a bit weak to still fold it on the hijack, but I wouldn't be mind-blowing if he did fold it.
Ace, king, 4, 2 clubs. Thomas will check it over to Kevin. He's going to c-bet his top pair.
40.
I remember the first time I played against Kevin, it was in Dublin. It was in a 1K event, and he went on to win it.
Wow, there we go. That was the
UK IPT.
I was gonna say, I looked at it, I thought he won the UK IPT.
Pretty sure Max Silver came second to him. If he didn't, he definitely made the final table.
Wow, tough final.
Yeah, I didn't play against him at the final. I played against him with a few tables left or
I don't mean
whatever.
because you were there. I mean, tough because Max was there.
Yeah, I didn't manage to make that final table, unfortunately. But it was a reasonably tough final, to be honest. And I think Max Silver at that time had made like 6 or 7 UK IPT finals, but not won one.
Wow.
I don't know if he eventually did win one, but it was insane the amount of finals he had made.
You have an ace-10 at this time. This will be a raise from
Yeah.
+2.
45.
Kevin's got a nice stack, 100 big blinds. Gaston's going to have a wee look at this flop with 3-5 of Diamondos. Oh, he's 3-betting it to 115. And Mike's not going to mess about with Ace King of Hearts. I'm just wondering what sizing is going to make it. 340k. A bit on the small side, 275. I think Gaston's going to peel here.
You reckon?
Yeah,
5-3.
it's too small, 160. 160 more into 480. He only needs 25% equity to make the call, and he's got 38%.
Yeah.
Obviously, on this occasion, but in general, I'm saying in total. And also with implied odds, it's a simple call. 5-3 is not a hand that I would recommend anyone to 3-bet in the first place, but he's put himself in this position, which means he has to call for 160.
Right, once you got this far.
Yeah.
He does make the call.
Yeah, Mike had to make it a bit bigger there. And even when I said in the sense that like you could go bigger.
10-8-8. Gaston won't like that one. No use to his hand.
Well, Mike bets anything here, he wins the pot, as we can clearly see. Doesn't matter what he bets. He could bet 200, he could bet 300.
300 is the bet. And Mike takes it down, keeps pulling in the chips up to 2.4 million. Well, the fans wanted to see an exciting flop. I'm happy to see Mike just pull in the chips.
Patrick Antonius isn't here. I've not seen him yet. I don't think he's here.
No, I don't think Patrick is here. I certainly haven't seen him.
If you have seen him, you might have went for a wee game of golf with him.
See what's what, you know.
Yeah. I know you've been golfing with him in the past.
I tell you, I don't think I've got a golf with Patrick.
You've never?
No,
I thought you had.
he's too much of an athlete for me to golf with.
Maybe he doesn't even golf at all, and I've just got it totally wrong. But
Probably
I
not, yeah.
thought you had been golfing with him at some point.
No.
I know you love your golf.
I do love my golf, Ludo. In fact,
And I know
I
you're-
just want to shout out just because I know he'll be watching. Thanks to Rory McIlroy for winning the Players on Sunday.
Oh, you
That
right?
has helped the old bank balance out no end.
What price did you get him at?
17 to 1.
Nice one. I was going to guess 20s.
Rory McIlroy, the main man in golf.
Hitting a bit of form again.
Yeah, top 5, 6 events in a row, 7 events in a row, I think.
What about Tiger? Tiger's hitting a bit of
Tiger's in
form
there.
again.
Yeah, he's getting the game together.
Do you think he'll win another major?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
I think it's a certainty.
What price is it? Have you had a look at any specials?
I mean, I've looked at the price throughout the last.
Is he like
few
even
years.
money? Is he like 47? What is it?
I'm not sure what he is now. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Because at one point during
he's
his
short
career,
every major now.
yeah, but I know he's up there with the favourites
He's-
now.
yeah.
But at one point he was gone for about 3 or 4 years. He was absolutely gone. So I wonder what his price at that point would have been. It might have been like 3 to 1, 5 to 1.
In his career to come back and win a major, I mean, I know people were putting bets on him about 2 to 1 in the rest of his life to win another major. Obviously now he's back, head's kind of in the game, physically fit.
I remember that one when Tom Watson came over to Scotland for the
In
links.
Turnberry, I think.
Yeah, in the links course, and he nearly done the magic, and he got caught.
58, 59, I think it was at the time. No,
No, he
57.
was older than that, I think.
No,
He was in
he's
60s, was he not?
maybe-
62 possibly. Tom
maybe,
Watson.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
And he
old.
nearly pulled off a miracle. He had a good lead, and then the guy
did.
that caught him up played a playoff with him,
Well,
and
yeah,
ended up getting them.
against,
Sink.
Stuart Sink. Yeah.
Was it Sink?
He missed. He missed the putt himself for about 5 foot, I think, on the 72nd hole. Would have won it, and then the first playoff hole, they do a 4-hole aggregate at the Open, or did.
I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if Eric just flat
Yeah,
calls.
Kevin opened under the gun. Eric flatting +1. We'll leave the golf for a moment. Concentrate on the poker. Thomas is reaching. Oh dear.
Oh dear, this
He needs
could.
to not find a hand here.
If he finds pocket 10s or above,
22 bigs.
or king queen suited, he might rifle it in.
There it goes. Rifles it in.
And
And this is interesting.
and-
Kevin, right?
And do you know another thing as well? No, it's not interesting for Kevin. I think it's an easy fold.
Yeah, Jay's
He's got to be worried about +1.
Yeah.
So it's an easy fold there, and we're going to get to see it. Obviously,
Yeah.
the fact that the whole cards haven't been read,
Snap cool.
and he's got 10s plus, which I said.
Well, we see a 10. He's got 10s, then you're a genius, Ludo.
Well, 10s plus is the cut-off point.
Eric's trap well laid. Snared. Thomas does have 10s. 994. Three on the end. No good. Thomas shakes hands as he departs. Eric back over a starting strike. Here we go. Twitch chat telling us Watson was 59 in that Open Championship. Now, here we go. Ludo quickly scrolled back up on my phone to show me a message. You are hot, Ludo. The fans, eh?
Dankerson.
Do I go kissy? You are hot. I see someone asking how many entries are in this.
439.
439. There we go. 61 added.
My math hasn't taken a hit.
439, Ludo. You're one of those 439 and still in the mix.
I'm looking forward to day 2.
And again, for those who just joined, Ludo, how many chips do you have?
2.7 million.
Just swashbuckling around.
90 big blinds.
Ooh. There's enough big blinds to start doing some punting.
What? Don't say that.
You can punt around with it. I'm just saying you can.
I would never punt around. I would never do such a thing. Wait there, is this came in again? What's this? Can Ludo drive me to Jerry's Brazilian Deli? I don't understand that.
I don't either. I'm just ignoring it because I didn't
Can
understand
you
it.
please elaborate?
Ricardo on the button. Min raising ace king. What is this? Is the question. Well, this is the Party Poker Live Millions South America.
So Ricardo has just min raised the button here, straight up min raise. So that's fine. He done it. I think he done it with pocket fours at the start of this level.
Right. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, okay.
That's your sizing. That's your sizing.
Yeah, fair enough. But as I'm going back to, I'm saying like Kevin and other players have been 2.5xing the button. Obviously, as the blinds increase, stack depth decreases. So, but still, I would definitely still be putting a bit on top.
Oh, this story. Mike's telling me this is his worst beat. I think it was
Right next to Doyle Brunson, he said, I've been playing poker 40 years, I've never seen that.
I think it was a story Mike told me. I think it was the Four Queens Classic. It used to be a big event at the Four Queens in Vegas. And Doyle Brunson put Mike into this event. Mike was getting deep and he was, buzzing. Oh, I'm gonna get some money out of this. And yeah, he got his queens in against tens and tens. It ran out straight. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Queens against tens and tens.
That's sick. But
and look, they're talking this story, and Gaston finds tens the next hand, raises it up. Mike in the next seat, ace deuce of clubs. He's gonna flick in the call.
I don't think the call here under the gun +1 is that bad because they're so deep.
Right, and Gaston's been playing a lot of hands as well.
Yeah,
right?
but I think I would rather 3-bet it than flat. But I don't think it's that bad.
Speaking of 3-bets, Fabian flats the button. Kevin with ace queen in the small surely will be 3-betting.
Slam dunk squeeze. 300,000. Maybe more. At least 300,000.
He's gone 240. We got 5x. And Eric with ace queen in the big blind.
He's now handcuffed. He's handcuffed. He has to fold. He is absolutely handcuffed. It's just a size spot.
Does it let it go?
I'm surprised Kevin went a bit small here.
I
would go slightly bigger here with Kevin's hand. I would go 300,000.
Gaston does peel. Mike and Fabian will fold. You go heads up to a 600,000 chip pot. Well, Gaston in good shape because we know ace queen was followed by Eric. Eight, 9 the flop.
I was sitting beside that gentleman last night, Dempsey.
Who would that be?
Big Steeler. And he was asking a question there. And that question was, what is your preferred 3-bet sizing and position facing A and open? But there was like a link deleted.
Meanwhile, Kevin betting 200K on this flop. Do you like this? What is just Kevin betting range on 889 when 3-betting from
I think it's fine, yeah. Kevin will know better than me. He's been working hard on his game. I think it's totally fine if he's betting 200,000. It's all good in the hood.
6 clubs on the turn. And no help for Kevin. We're up against Gaston, who has a very wide range.
That's one of those cards. He's not got any clubs, but maybe he's going to fire it off. I think he's going to triple barrel here if he bets the turn. A lot of the time he's all in the river card. He's trying to get Gaston to fold. But at the same time, Gaston could have like 10 jack suited, queen jack suited, queen 10 suited. He does have a queen in his hand. I think it would be better off if he triple barreled ace king here.
Right. Don't block any of the straight hands then.
And he doesn't block his pocket queens that he could get to fold if he triple barrels off.
Right.
He blocks aces and kings if he has ace king.
Gaston checks back.
That's a disaster card for Kevin to bluff at as well.
Right,
An
this
absolute
turn plus
disaster.
draws surely carry on.
Yeah, because like he's not. Jack's bad. Like, if he bets this, what's he try to get to fold the same hand? Maybe Ace King. It's not a guy you really want to be triple barreling into.
No,
you've got to be prepared to shove all in the river against this guy. He likes to see all the cards.
Goes check from Kevin. Gaston will surely just check this back.
Yeah, I think he's going to just play it safe. He's never getting called off of Ace King, so why should he ever bet?
Right. It's an easy check and win at showdown. Gaston picking up more and more chips. Big stealer. Ludo was sitting beside me at the tables and is staying in the room next to me in the Windsor.
Yeah, we had a good laugh last night, me and Big Stealer, with Phil Helmuth at the table. I'm pretty sure he bagged up at least 3.2, maybe 3.5 million. Definitely over 3 million. I'm not too sure if it was over 3.5 million. And he is my next door neighbour at the Windsor Hotel.
So here's all the stories about what's going on in the Windsor. Huh?
He does. I wonder if he's got a glass up to the wall.
He can hear you listening to your self-affirmation tapes.
Before I came down to do the commentary, I actually heard him laugh quite a lot next door. You've got to keep the noise down.
Keep the noise down.
Yep.
I just saw something in here. Bad Guy Hood saying, Sunday at the Masters, greatest single day in sports, in my opinion. I wholeheartedly agree. It's my favourite sporting event of the year. The Masters Sunday, it's just gin, Ludo.
The snooker in London? Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Ronnie O'Sullivan's won it 6 times, the Masters.
Last year,
at the Ali Pali.
The Masters, the US Masters, the US Golf Masters, coincided with Millions Barcelona. I remember we finished doing a stream and I ran out to the one of the Irish bars off Las Ramblas and I found you guys there.
This is quite nice for Kevin. He can peel on the button here with pocket threes. Try and catch a 3.
He snares a 3.
I didn't notice if anybody folded a 3 on the way around there.
It's a party in Rio. Gaston has an invite from the big.
So the question was asked, have we got Gaston's chip count correct yet?
944. We'll come back to it in a second because Gaston has not the best hand on this flop out of these 4.
Whoa, that was an aggressive check.
It was an aggressive check. Mike flashes a glance, checks behind, as will Ricardo.
I wonder if Kevin will take a stab at this board with pocket threes.
Right, no safe turn card is there for his hand.
But at the same time, it is 4-handed. It is 4 ways. That's why he's checking it. If it's 3 ways, I think he might elect to bet there.
7 on the turn. Gaston reaching for chips. That's 100k. Mike just shrugs and fold. And to Kevin, who also folds. Is Isildur still in? Yes, he is. Sat on this very table.
Yeah, he's been playing quite a snug game, Isildur has been.
And yeah, people are asking about Gaston's chips. They were wrong and they have been corrected, but we are obviously on the delay. So his chip stack will be shown correctly when we catch up.
I can't help myself. Every time I walk from my casino into the venue, I keep singing at the
Copacabana.
I just got it stuck in my head.
It's hard not to say it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
There is Isildur. Been quiet for the last 30 minutes or so. Very active for the first 2 levels we were streaming.
Lovely hand. I love the 8-9 suited, especially on the hijack.
Fabian from the hijack, 8-9 suited, raising it up. Gaston in the small with less chips than is indicated there. But still lots of chips.
I might have to owe you 100 local.
Yeah, Mike
This
looks
jacket's
chilly,
not coming off.
He looks chilly as well. No.
I don't even know what Isildur's real name is. Everyone just knows him as Isildur. I'm only kidding on.
Big V, yeah.
Obviously, I know what his real name is. But let's be honest, we're not using that
Who's
ever.
this joining the table?
Oi, oi. We've got a Party Poker Pro here. No, we've actually not. He looks like him, but it's what's his name? The boy that fought Olivia Bousquet. I always forget his name.
Jack 10-9 was the flop. It's gone.
For a second, I thought it was Renato.
Renato,
Because
yeah.
it just glanced up to him and I thought it looked like him. It did look like him for a second, but obviously it's not.
And Gaston makes the winning hand on the river.
It's JC Avaraldo.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, it is JC.
But he did look a little bit like Renato for a
Fabian
second.
flows in the bluff here. Gaston snap calls. And Fabian just mucks. And looks at the, like, you called me with that? Really?
You called me with a flush?
You called with a turn and you called the river, huh? No respect.
No respect.
Mark Fedorowski. I never understood how guys with thick Irish accents sing an American song and it's crystal clear US speak.
Do you know why that is? Because I've got a thick Scottish accent.
Exactly. My man is a Scotsman. Same thing there, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't mind being called Irish. I'm totally happy with that. Anyway, when he came in, the camera zoomed up to him. It was only a glance, but he does look a little bit like Renato from the side.
I actually thought he was wearing a matching hoodie to Mike at first as well.
That's why I immediately thought we have got a Party Poker Pro at the table alongside Mike Sexton.
Question, has Isidore still got money? Well, he's got at least $10,000 because he's here at the Copacabana Palace.
He's at the Copacabana.
No, Luda, we got to stop. There are people watching. It's not just you and me in this room, you know.
What's happening here? They've got JC's name as Manuel. I don't know what's happening there. I thought his name was JC Alvarado. Maybe we're all wrong and it's not even JC.
Well.
Bien, Angelito. Bien. ¿Me saludé? Está tranquilo. Me saludé, vamos. Bien.
We'll get to the bottom of it, Ludo. We'll figure it out.
I don't know what's happening here. I swear I think that was JC Alvarado. I went with the guy that actually said it in the chat and I thought it was Renato at the start. I glanced up to him. It looked like him slightly, so I guessed it was Renato.
I gather it's Angel.
But then all of a sudden, somebody put in the chat it's JC.
Yeah,
and it looks like JC to me.
Unfortunately, Ludo, like the true professional I am, I forgot my power adapter. As you may have noticed, the laptop is closed. And so can't access, I'm usually on here, Hennemob, and also Batty ran out during the last break.
We need him to take his shades off. If he takes his shades off, I will 100% tell you if it's JC or not. I still believe it's JC. I think that's JC Alvarado. But wait there, he doesn't actually wear a ring. I've never seen him wear a ring. And I don't know if that's his style. He doesn't wear like that kind of jacket. I may be totally wrong. I want to see this.
Gaston, 6'5".
So like, I would like to see JC alongside Angel.
Yeah, Angel Julian is what we've been told.
I would like to
I
see.
assume that's correct because we've been told by people who know.
Yeah, we've been told this is Angel Julian, if that's how you spell it. If that's how you pronounce it, Julian. Julian.
Angel. Well, let's go with Angel.
We're going with Angel because it says Angel on the screen, but put JC Alvarado beside him and it has to be a what do you call it? A doppelganger?
Doppelganger, yeah. You're the German.
I don't know.
You're a fake German.
What do you mean? I just said to you, how do you call it? And I got it right, did I not?
Yeah, but you're a fake German.
Yeah, I'm half German. I've got a German passport.
Just about. It's still in about 4 different pieces.
Yeah, it's actually falling apart. I was lucky to get in here. Angel.
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 Thank you. Well, I'm not going to read that name, but...
Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Beadle. Oh, but there actually, what am I talking about? Jeremy Beadle didn't say it. It was the person below him, which we can't read out that name. Mouth Manning 86.
Oh, it sounds like we can.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it.
Gaston wins the pot, firing away with a 6 high.
I was always reading that out.
And now he is about 4.5 million. But I think it's about the graphics saying he's got about a million more than he actually does.
Was that Gaston Ramirez not bluffing at Southampton for a few years? He was shocking at times.
Come on, Mike. Keep that jacket on. Just because someone sat next to you, it's not getting that warm.
Mike, take it off. I feel like we're quite close to the table in the booth here.
Yeah.
I feel like throwing over some water and just landing it on Mike, so he has to take off his jacket.
I mean, we're basically directly in line with where Mike would be sat, just looking at it. He's in what, the 5 seat, middle of the room. We're just behind the curtain there. Kevin, undergun +1, Queen, Jack offsuit. He's coming in for a raise. 45,000 to play at 10K, 20K here late on day 1B. All these guys that are working hard away, and it's like you've done your homework early, isn't it? You're down, you're out, relaxing yourself, chips in a bag.
Yeah, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I was going to play day 1A and I was going to bag up 2.7 million. People study. I'm saying, like, I just get the game in a nutshell. Move on.
You just are poker. You're in the matrix.
I'm just the matrix. I'm part of the simulation that we're living in. So it's all good.
Ricardo flats the big king 10.
Kevin's going to barrel here with the queen jack with the jack of clubs, I'm pretty sure.
Right. Range advantage here. Doesn't want to give random cards equity. Does have some good barrel cards.
He does indeed.
Like the bet, 30 into 120. Doesn't have to bet big on this kind of texture, right?
Yeah, 25%'s not bad at all.
Ricardo, of course, calling with a king.
See, this is the one. If Kevin does double barrel here, he's just trying to get ace high off. So I think he's going to probably check it.
Right.
Now, Ricardo has some bluffs, which is missed flush draw, so he has to bet. Especially with the 10 of clubs in his hand, which is lovely jubbly, because he could easily have 10 jack of clubs, 10 5 of clubs,
right,
something like that. Now, I don't know if he needs to bet as much as 125.
Well, any bet would work. That's Kevin, of course.
Yeah, against the Queen High.
Gonna cool.
Any bet would work.
LP the God, loving your Gaston Ramirez chat. Says they are a Saints fan. He was a check stealer for a while.
That's what I was saying. He went missing for a couple of years.
Saints flirting with relegation this season.
Toby Lewis won't be too happy.
Yeah, that's why they can never go down, right?
Yeah,
So
because
Toby's on board.
Toby must have placed a bet for them to stay up, which
Toby
means they can't go down.
Toby just wants them to stay up, so they're never going to go down.
Yeah.
I think they'll be safe. Huddersfield, Fulham, and Cardiff. They gone.
Huddersfield. That's your team, is it not?
No,
Oh, your team's Brighton.
Brighton.
Brighton are fine.
Brighton, we're fine, and we're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, big man.
Who are you playing in the semis?
A little team called Manchester City. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Is that the team that went 2-0 down against Swansea recently?
That very
Was it
team.
in the same cup?
Yeah.
It was in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I laid them at half-time to Midi and Wadey.
You laid Swansea.
I laid City at half-time to Midi and Wadey, and they were 2-0 down.
I don't know if I would have done that. What was it, even money?
2-1
2-1.
to score 3 goals in the second half.
That was always going to be the case. They've done the same against Schalke as well.
Yeah, by all accounts, we didn't watch it, but there was a dodgy penalty decision, a dodgy VAR.
100%.
Goal,
100%. It was not a penalty. Didn't matter if he took the player, he got touching the ball, so it wouldn't have been a penalty, and it was offside. Aguero was offside.
So I'd say I'm a bit unlucky. And then
So
Brighton
very
are
unlucky.
but
Because they were so unlucky because in the championship they don't have VAR.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
or else.
it's
And the
equipment.
other quarter final had VAR because
Well,
both teams were premiers.
And you say that, but Brighton versus Millwall, if there was VAR, we probably got through in 90 minutes, ended up going to penalties because of some dodgy officiating. But we're there. The only thing is, I wish we were playing Swansea instead of Man City.
May have had a chance to win that cup.
Yeah, if we were playing Swansea in the semi-final, you're thinking, yeah, good chance to get the final, and then
Brighton will probably be 20-1, just like Swansea were. Worth a bet.
anyway, chatting golf, chatting football. Meanwhile, there's poker to be had. He's all in the mix. Big stack of those blue 100k chips in front of him. Here is our man Gaston. And now I think his stack is correct. So it looks like it's about 4.5 million. He limps under the gun +1, King 5 of diamonds. Fabian completes the small. Kevin checks the big with the kitchens 10-3.
He would like to see a flop, so he tags along.
King 5 though, limping in. He's just mixing it up, isn't he, Gaston? Hard to read this man.
I think Kevin should donk in the middle here. But he checks it. Maybe he's not donking because he's got a bad kicker, the 3 obviously.
Right, and Gaston limping in 10-9.
Good time for Kevin.
Wet.
Good time for Kevin to bet.
Yep, Fabian picks up a pair to go with his flopped open ender, checks it again.
I wouldn't have minded donk with Kevin's hand here, like on the flop. I know he's got a bad kicker, the 3.
But 60 into 80. And look, it looks like Fabian's going to fold straight away with a pair and a draw. So he's picking the cards up high.
You can kind of see when he makes up his mind, can't you?
Yeah, straight away he was like, I'm done with this hand.
Just by the way that he touches the cards before he makes up his mind, he's actually made up his mind. His hand, the way that he touches the cards, whether it be one hand or 2 hands, you can tell that he's folding. Come on, Mike, take that jacket off.
No, keep it on, Mike. It's getting chilly in here.
I think I'm going to wait until like there's half an hour left and go outside and give him like a massage.
I've already texted him and told him to keep it on. So.
Is that how you've done this?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe go outside with a big heater, a big fan heater.
Was Gaston really raised under the gun with Queen 6? I don't think so. Even Gaston, surely. I think he's
Looks like he has.
must have limped if Mike's making it 90.
I think he made
right?
it 40. He put in 8.5 Ks.
Wow, did he really?
I think he put in 8.5 Ks.
What a boss. And Mike just clicking it on him.
Hopefully it pans round.
Did he go for a straddle? Do you think that's what it was?
Yeah, it was like a straddle. He put in like 8.5 Ks, I think.
Yeah, right, because he's flicking another 50. You are quite right, Ludo. King 7 deuce to spades.
See, I've got a feeling Gaston's going to get frisky here. Because he's got the Queen 6 offsuit with the Queen of Spades. I just got a feeling he's going to get frisky and going to win this pot. He's going to check raise to 225k and Mike's going to give it up.
He's going dirtier. He's going to call.
He's going to call. I knew he was going to get frisky this hand.
Ludo knows.
But it's in 125. I'm pretty sure the bet was 75k.
Yes, I think you're right.
We're having a bit of
Graphics.
technical
Ooh,
problems
here we
here.
go. You can get frisky or you can just make the best hand.
Is Mike going to take a free one? He's going to just barrel away because now that Gaston's picked up a queen, he's not folding. Obviously. It's a
That
bit.
bet is not 300. That bet is 135. Again, excuse the graphics.
Yeah, the bet's 135,000, which is obviously not going to get the job done. So we're going to have to see a river card. Board is King 7 deuce.
Backdoor clubs complete.
Mike's going to have to give this one up. He can't get anything to fold.
Does check. Gaston shows a queen. He might soon stick when he sees the 6 of clubs with it. You see Gaston motion. Give me the chips.
I think Mike is flabbergasted in the sense that if he was to have 100 guesses at his hand,
Isildur's face as well was
that
brilliant.
would be the 874th.
That Isildur's face. You should have seen Isildur. Getting the lot is our man.
Not perfect. This is a joke.
No blind raise under the gun this time, as it's Mike Sexton in the hot seat.
How long's the delay on the feature table?
30 minutes, Ludo.
A half hour?
That's one way of saying it, yeah. Ricardo raising from the hijack. Ace, King, Fabian, flats, Ace, Jack, and next seat. Kevin and Eric will make way.
Gaston will tag along.
Of course he will.
It's getting a good price.
Ten, 8, 3 rainbow. Ricardo's Ace, Jack. Ace, King, pardon me.
Ace
Still
Jack,
ahead.
Ace Jack might win this pot if Ricardo checks. Ace Jack could bet here. Depending on the sizing, he might be able to float. He's not got many chips, but he might be able to float here. But he's been playing pretty tight, hasn't he? He's not tried much. and he's been a bit too passive. So he might not even float. Well, a difference here in demeanour. He has moved to the edge of his seat, which means, and he's not touched his cards, so I think he might continue.
Yeah, normally he's given away by now. He's going to fold. Well, so certainly he doesn't want to fold. There we go. You knew it. He's raising it up. Ludo Silva in full swing here at the Millions South America. Ludo Silva's pretty strong, isn't it?
Well, it's live poker. I'm pretty good at live poker. I picked up some great tells yesterday. I've actually picked up a few tells in Phil Hellmuth. He was disrespecting the fact that people were. He was probably disrespecting the fact that he didn't think people was as good at spotting tells, and I spotted about 3 tells on him. But I wasn't even in the hand. I wasn't in the hand, but he lost every single hand. So people must have spotted him as well.
Interesting.
It was insane how easy he made it for people.
Big Phil. Well, Ricardo is at 80. It's only been raised 100,000 more, but no pair, no draw. Ludo, it's such an unattractive proposition, isn't it, to call no pair, no draw? I see Miko asking, did Helmuth bag chips? Well, Ludo, you're at his table. Did he bag chips?
Yeah, he did. He bagged like 1.5 million, I think.
And there we go. 1.5 million. And this is how the chip counts look as we head to our final level of the day. 10K, 25K. Gaston out in front with 187 big blinds. Easily the chip leader on this feature table. So guys, 10K, 25K, our final level of day 1B. Gaston way out in front, as I say. And Fabian the shortest stack, but he with, well, just a fraction below a starting stack in the millions.
And Mike Sexton with just under 2 million chips and still got his jacket on.
Jacket on, 1 hour to go. Come on, Mike. Finish strong. And, well, the problem is, though, he might be getting a little bit hot after seeing that Queen 6 at Showdown. Maybe that would have warmed him up a little bit, wouldn't it, Ludo?
He might take it off shortly to mean business after losing against Queen 6. Like, I'm taking my jacket off. I mean business
I'd get
now.
hot if I saw Queen 6. Eric going to raise it up on the button with King 8.
60,000. Oi, oi, Mike. He's going to have to make it at least 200,000 here. He's just going to stick him in, basically. No messing about from Mike, just sticks him in. Oh, okay. Gaston had his nose open after that Queen 6. He wasn't messing about.
There is the online phenom, Millions Germany champion from last year, Isolde 1. Just chilling here on our feature table. Ludo, have you played much of this order?
I've got a good story actually with the Azodar. I was playing him heads up once. 50, 100, I'm pretty sure it was at PLO.
Good game selection.
Yeah, good game selection. I played him heads up, 50, 100 PLO. I didn't have many buy-ins for that game on my account. But you know me, I like a wee dabble.
You can have a little gamble now and again.
Yeah, so I dabbled with him heads up, and he's obviously fearless. And I probably went in with not that many buy-ins, and I wasn't playing my best poker. And he gobbled me up for 2 buy-ins. And I still had a wee bit left in the account, but I decided to call it a night because I was silly to play him heads up in the first place.
Silly Ludo.
So that's my Isildur story. Apart from that, I played with him in like 25k PLOs online and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
5Ks online.
But tournaments, you just money's
Tournaments,
in, you know.
Yeah, but the cash game was more of an exciting story in the sense that he beat me up for 2 buy-ins at 50, 100. But when it comes to those kinds of stories, I'm always proud about playing Ike Haxton at the 5k heads ups, the hyper turbo heads ups. Played him heads up in the 5ks. Won the first 4 or 5 off him.
Oh, he sit out?
No, I waited until I lost one. Then I gave up.
Oh, you gave up, yeah.
I won like 5-1 or something.
I thought you were going to say he sat out.
I won like 4-1 or 5-1, and I didn't allow him.
I like it.
I went and said, "That's me done. I'll keep playing until he beats me." And then he beat me
I'm
in
off,
one.
mate. I'm off.
I went, "I'm off, mate. You're too good for me, and I'm going to take the money while I can, while it's there."
Fabian, under the gun, +1. 9-10 of hearts is a raise. Mike calls on the button. King, queen. Isildur flicks it in from the big with a suited queen. See some blood here, do you think, Ludo?
No.
Well,
did you like how I waited till the flop?
You say no, but a couple of these hands have some backdoor juice to them.
Well, Isildur's most likely to check raise if he's going to go with certain textures, but this is king high.
There's some blood.
There's
some blood here. Fabian's bet 80,000. Mike's sitting there with top pair. He's going to call. Isildur's going to give it up. Fabian's going to turn some sort of equity here. King 7-4. So many of those cards on the turn will give him something extra, and the 10 of diamonds gives him a pair.
He's going to most likely go in check call mode. That is a good hand to check call with.
Mike will bet 125 when checked too. This was a little bit grim, Mike, for Fabian.
I think he has to call one now. I'm saying it's quite reasonably small, so he's going to have to see that river card.
Deuce is no use.
Like Mike's got to go for some value here. He's got a good kicker with it. He beats King Jack also. I would say Mike should go for about 200, 300. Right in the middle, 250.
250. We like it, Ludo. We like it. Fabian.
Is he going to get a crying call?
Surely Fabian has to fold, right?
I don't know. This is the thing. What happens is if you bluff and then you make a hand,
right? You feel
as if, I'm not saying like something overrides you and you end up making a call. When if you look back, just because you made the 10 didn't mean you had to call. Because you're bluffing and then you make a hand, you end up calling, and that's what separates the best players, obviously.
Mike staring at the board, not wanting to give anything away.
Here we go again. He's leaned to the front of his chair, which means I think he's going to call.
Ludo Silva plugged it in. It says cool. I think he's going to fold. He's going to piece this one together. King 7-4 rainbow. Mike. He hasn't seen Mike get out of line.
Good fold.
Yeah, good fold, Fabian. And guys, I have been told that we are keeping the question of the day open a little longer today, given that we were later than originally planned coming on live on stream because of yesterday's late finish. So you can enter that competition for the rest of this hour, and we will announce the winners later on the Party Poker Live social media platforms, and then, of course, tomorrow on the stream. So if you do want to have a crack at winning that, head on over to partypokerlive.com, enter the question of the day. Question is, of course, who won that Rio Open late last night or early this morning, depending how you look at things.
I wonder how many people go up to him and think he's JC Alvarado. Honestly, that's
You're
just
fixated now, aren't you?
yeah. I'm saying like I wonder how many people think he's JC.
And if you know the answer to that question, and if you don't know, it's pretty easy to find out on the partypokerlive.com website.
What? How many people think he's JC?
Nope, that is not the question of the
All
day.
right, okay, I thought it was.
That's the Ludo question of the day. Ludo's going to give you $1,000 if you can tell him the right answer to that question. How many people think that, right? Ludo, you show me.
I don't think that's a question.
Exactly. Well, it's an impossible question to know the answer, right? So you're safe. Ludo, it looks like you got some sunburn there.
Yeah, I forgot to put some cream on my hands.
It's quite a weird place to have sunburn on your hands.
Yeah, but that happens, doesn't it? It's quite delicate skin, is it, on your hands? So it does get punished.
It's always quite dark.
You've got a wee bit on
I
yours.
was just sitting on my hands.
I don't care.
I'm a weirdo like that. It's a bit chilly back here, which is why I bet on Mike keeping his.
It's freaking chilly.
That's why I bet on him keeping his jacket on. No, he's so close to us. Gaston will c-bet Queen 9-7.
How
Ricardo
many
flats.
people knows JC Alvarado's screen name? I know what it is. I can't say what it is.
Ricardo will call with that flopped second pair.
Is it not Poker Style Sucks or something? I might be wrong.
4 on the turn. Ricardo checks Gaston now, decides to give up, having been called on that rich flopped texture. Makes a pair on the end. Ludo, what do you think? Do you think Ricardo tries to squeak a little something out here, or is he happy just checking? Does go check, check. Ricardo rakes in those chips.
Yeah, I thought I was right. Poker Style Sucks.
Uncontrollable, this one.
What do you mean? Is that what it is?
Uncontrollable. Ludo, what do you think of this little venue? The Copacabana Palace.
At the again.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm loving it.
Proper old world feel to this establishment. You staying here? You staying next door?
I'm staying right next door at the Windsor Excelsior,
Where the cool kids are at.
where the likes of yourself are.
Oh yeah. Although I had to say, I spent a few hours at the pool here at the Palace earlier today. Just relaxing and a bit of lunch.
Are we going to go for something to eat after this?
We certainly can, Ludo.
Are you peckish?
Let's see what the butchers can cook up for us.
As the famous Christopher Moorman says, the butchers.
The butchers of Baghdad. Kings in a small blind.
I was just saying his screen name. I would never do such a thing.
Makes it 75,000, raising into Fabian's blinds. Remember, we are now at 10.25.
don't get you full. Yeah, really. Value ahead. I've been paying so far. No, man, you never missed a get open what you get. Oh, shit.
Mr. Mark Fedorowski saying Bellman Hotels. Dang, Bellman Cap is amazing. Yeah, well, this is one of the Bellman Hotels, the Cabana Palace, and it is pretty amazing. It's a fair assessment. Again, you can come down here in September, Ludo, for the WSOP Circuit main event by answering that question of the day. Maybe picking up a WSOP Circuit ring. All for free. Just if you know who won the Rio Open. I can confirm that Lula does like your screen name. Whoever wrote that in the Twitch chat. Ace King from Isilda in the cutoff, raising it up 55,000 to play. Fabian Ace A in the small. Oh, he's flicked in a call, I think, Ludo.
Oh, I thought for a second he was shoving the full Kabuna.
Yeah, and well, Kevin with Ace 10 suited in the big.
Fantastic spot for Kevin here to squeeze it, call Fabian off because he's got him dominated so much of the time, if not every single time.
Right.
Not total domination, but he's never got the worst hand and he's never in bad shape. But he elects to flat, I think. Does he?
Does flat.
Yeah. So he's
We freeway Ace King, Ace 10 suited, Ace 8 suited to a 9-7-5 flop. Fabian with a gut shot straight draw.
I'm surprised that Kevin flattened there.
Yeah,
I know Isildar's not been out of line. I know that. I can understand that fully. Kevin knows that he's not going ballistic. But still, I think I like the squeeze here with the Ace 10 of spades, and I think it's a slam dunk. I think it's a slam dunk squeeze play.
Look at this, 3 of spades on the turn. Fabian comes out leading.
It's all worked out perfect anyway.
Now Kevin's going to get a call.
It's now worked out perfect, James.
And Isildur folds the better hand.
Yes, it's worked out perfect for Kevin now. Calls, he never really gets bluffed, I don't think.
So Kevin's studying an 89% favourite in the hand. Yeah,
and that's a lovely card anyway.
End.
If there's any card that you might get bluffed on, it might be this one. It's
Fabian,
and it's all good for Kevin anyway. He's made a good hand, so he calls.
Fabian, well, 220, not enough to make Kevin fold this hand, surely.
Yes, Kevin's going to call. He's going to be worried about sets. He can have some sets here. But he's still going to call. If he's got a set, the guy wins 220k extra. I know why Kevin's taking his time. Like, Fabian's not got out of line. He's not had any bluffs or anything like that. But I just feel as if he's just hit the top of his range here on the river. He has to still call. No! He's so close to folding.
Obviously, Kevin has the miss spades himself. That's one of the natural bluffs. The question is, does Fabian have a hand like 10-8 peeling from the small that might value here? Does he peel with 10-8 from the small? 10-8 diamonds, bet the turn. No, river.
It's one of those ones. I'm saying I understand why Kevin's thinking for so long, but I think he still has to call. He's getting such a good price.
Yeah, he hates it. Puts the chips in.
Yeah. You've got to remember it's that 10% randomness as well, where like nothing makes sense, and you've got to factor that into the play, especially in live poker, where like just rip that out the 100%. And just take 10% and say anything could be the situation here. And it sometimes is.
Herbs for Life asking, was there an overlay? There most certainly was. $610,000. 61 players short of the guarantee in this $10,000 buy-in event. good call there from Kevin. But yeah, we can understand. It's one of those where you're like, this just feels like I'm paying someone off. But as you said, you just got to pay them off. Sometimes you pay them off.
He's got a good price.
Sometimes in
he has
poker you
to
get
call.
bluffed. Sometimes you pay people off.
He knows, obviously, if that's a theory standpoint, I'm saying, like, absolutely theoretically, if he folds it, it's what do you call it?
Massively exploitable.
It's a massive exploit by folding there. He knows it's bad, but he just feels like he's not got any bluffs. But I understand why he took so long and why he did want to fold.
Kel raising King Jack +2. Eric flicking it in from the big Jack 7 of clubs. King 4-3. Expect this one to go check. Bet fold. And go in mid. Just kind of always has to bet this one, doesn't he?
I think JC Alvarado has to give this a wee bet.
Or Angel. You can't be convinced he's JC, Lula. You just got to give that one up. There's Angel. 1.4 million chips, still equating to 56 big blinds late on day 1B. Stuck between the chairman and the champ. This is the one champion of Millions Germany a little over a year ago. Is it one raising it up? Ace 10 from +2. Gaston is going to peel from the big blind with King Jack. Nine, 4, 3. Is it as ace high? Still best. That's 50k. Gaston not going anywhere with his king high because Gaston wants to play. Jack on the turn. Gaston takes the lead. He checks it over to Isildur. Who's going to fire again? This time 150 Ludo. And again, this is player dependent, right? He's the reason he's double barreling this one against specifically Gaston. He's seen Gaston make some very wide peels and flops. Gaston, of course, with top pair now. We'll continue. Queen on the end completes the hearts. Isildur has the ace of hearts. Theoretically, this would be a nice one to go for. And look, he's reaching for chips. He's reaching. He is reaching. 325. This one can't see it working.
Gaston's never ever folding here. He's got a chance to beat Isildur in a pot.
Right, Isildur's putting him on what? Like
it's a massive
4 or 9. Or...
It's a massive free roll.
Yeah.
If you call and you win, you beat Isildur in a pot.
It's a true story.
And if you call when you lose, you can try and get him in another pot.
I've just clocked in the top left of the picture as well. You see, there seems to be a little figurine up here. I think that's this guy Jefferson we saw deep in the 1K. He had the most boring card protector you ever see. He's got like a
miniature
statue of himself.
I've seen it on Twitter.
It's pretty cool, right?
I think Pappy posted it on Twitter or Instagram or something.
It's Pretty cool.
Joey Ingram.
Do you wanna
Yes, it's pretty
Do you
cool.
want to get
Yeah.
it yourself?
Well, you fully expect somebody like Helmuth to have that.
I think it's cool. I'm getting one. Do you want me to get you one?
I asked Phil Helmuth yesterday at the table, who's the best player he's ever faced?
And what did he
And
say?
he thought for 10 seconds, went, I can't answer that. Because he couldn't say himself.
Gaston umming and ahhing. I mean, it's just have to call when you check call the flop with this hand. Can he be folding on the turn? It reaches the chips.
Flick it in, mate. You've got chunks.
He's picking the wrong man to bluff. A bit unfortunate that he's got a jack in his spot. He's thinking he can make him fold a low pair. Is it knuckles?
See, if that was back in the day, Azodor would have been all in on the river for 5
Just
times the
rip it.
pot.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
he-
heart's got a 10.
No, that's what he used to do here because he knows if he bet like half pot, 70% pot, 1.5x pot, 2x pot, he knows that he just gets called. So he just goes, I'm all in for 3 times the pot. Call that, mate.
Yeah, well, in this instance, obviously, Gaston had a very strong hand for his perceived range. Right, having check called the flop, he doesn't have a lot of Jack X.
King
so-
of Hearts was reasonable to have in your hand as well.
Right.
We're going to have to send out a Twitter vote. Is that man JC or is he an imposter?
Ricardo raising. +2 with 5. It's Gaston. Flick it in from the small with King 10. Mike from the big, also flicking it in. That must have been that might have been a nice little squeeze spot for Mike, right? Against the raise and Gaston's flat. I mean, I know it's a raise from +2, but Gaston just flattened so wide. Gets tempting, right, Ludo?
I would definitely consider squeezing there with ace deuce. I would rather squeeze than flat. Obviously, I would never. Well, I've seen some guys be folding here. That's +2. Well, Gaston called it immediately.
Jack on the turn. Gaston picking up a gut shot straight draw. Gonna fire some more chips into this pot.
Does he not just? No, I think he check called. Now he's led the turn.
Yeah,
Is that not what's
I
happened
think
here?
so, yeah. Put some more chips in, though. Come on. 175.
Ricardo might get stubborn, but at the same time, what does he beat? But it's one of those tilting situations where you don't want to fold because it just like you're like, why? What is happening here? Just like calls and then just leads.
And it's this player. It's Gaston.
Oh,
How easy is life?
I wonder how much he's going to bet.
Runner straight.
Now Ricardo doesn't beat much.
No, all those bluffs turn. Queen 10, King 10, 10-8. I mean, you can't be anything about the river other than the absolute most random hands, which
He's ended up playing it perfect. He's
Gaston
just,
can
he's just
have.
very unlucky, Ricardo.
Dude, I'm thinking what buyout I should offer you for these 100 reals.
think I'll just pay you the money just now. What,
You
are
pay-
you going to give me a discount in case it happens?
You pay, you pay. You know, you pay, you pay. If you pay, you pay. That's it, you know.
I'll give you 50 right now.
No. I'll ride my luck.
I'll give you 70.
I'm
Last offer.
I'm just going to ride my luck.
You're going to ride it out?
Yeah.
I will give you 70 right now if you want it.
No, I'll ride my luck. We are betting on whether Mike Sexton is going to take that jacket off. It's chilly inside the palace.
I am absolutely freezing.
A little cooler outside this evening as well. It's been very, very hot every day since we got here, but it did chill out a bit today.
Yeah, I'm looking about here. Let's see if I can find a jacket. I do see a suitcase.
We put you in there. Kevin raising Jack 8 suited from the hijack. Gaston from the button peeling ace deuce. Angel with 6-5 from the big. 10-7-6. Kevin flipping a gut shot draw with the betting lead, but no spade. Checks it to Gaston. Seven on the turn. Angel's 6. Looking pretty good, and I guess this is a little bit of protection here.
I'm not too sure about the size.
50 into 200.
Kevin's got a great price.
Definitely getting the price with Jack 8.
Wait there, what's going on here?
It's Gaston.
Gaston's made it
Min
100.
raising.
Do you know what? I'm saying like Angel might have to bin it here. And then Kevin will have to probably take the price again. Well, he's going to take the price again, I think.
Yeah, Angel's going to call. I can't find a pair for the min
And
click
I
against
think
Gaston.
Kevin
surely.
just has to flick it in and just be pure super tilted about it.
But what is Gaston up to?
Look at the price Kevin's getting.
Yeah, I mean, he has to call
He's
just
getting
for the gut shot.
91. That's tilt as well. Like, he's just like, fuck my life. I'm tilted. Need to call.
3 on the end. Angel with the best hand at showdown. Goes check, check. Come on, Gaston. Fire away. Drop the hammer. No. 2 pair declared. Slowly.
A few shakes of the head.
That's a fun one. So the plans for this evening after we finish this stream, a little bit of grub, and then
A little bit of food, and then probably about 10 beers, then bed.
yeah,
Just 10.
just a 10, yeah.
Usually I have 20, but there's day 2 tomorrow. So I need to just
Just
cut
10.
it in half.
Okay,
I'm going to cut it in half and just call it 10.
a light drenching.
Yeah, I'll be in bed by 5. I was in bed most nights at 8.
Okay, so early tonight, 5
Yeah.
o'clock. And
Obviously, as the night progresses, it's easier to drink. So, like, that extra 3 hours, I can get another 10 beers.
then- like it.
I pace myself. It's like a beer every half hour.
This is how champions prepare.
What was it you were saying to me the other day? 32, 16, 8, 4? What was it
20
called?
24. 6, 12, 18, 24. It's a little game.
And what do you have to do?
Oh, look, there's a hand coming up that we have to talk about.
Oh, right, okay, there's a hand. Okay.
Ricardo under the gun, raising up King Queen. Kevin 3 betting +2. And Ludo, Ricardo having opened under the gun and being 3-bet by +2. Can he just let this go? I mean, yeah, he does. He does let it go. I like that.
It's encouraged to drink at the table from
Yeah.
your other players.
Speed last
From the other players at the table, they
in-
want you to drink alcohol.
in big games. Do people drink alcohol? Yep, they do sometimes.
I would not recommend drinking alcohol while playing poker.
Moderation, Ludo. Moderation.
Indeed.
A little bit of drink, it's fine. Just like in life.
1 glass of wine a day keeps the doctor at bay.
Bola Core asking, I don't get how you would win a ticket for the Rio main event if you already watched the Rio main, because the ticket we are giving away is for a seat to the WSOP circuit main event here in Rio in September. So it's not for this event, it is for that event. If you want to win that ticket, head on over to partypokerlive.com. Answer the question of the day. Easy to find that tab. It's on the front page of partypokerlive.com.
And that question is,
who won the Rio Open? About 20 hours ago. No, 19 hours ago when we were last here. Had Jeff Gross came in to play when it was 3 left. He thought, I'll come in. And he was like, I'll do it to the finish, thinking it wouldn't take that long. About 5.5 hours later, he managed to get to bed.
so what time did you get to bed yourself, Mr. Dempsey?
Just before 6, I think.
And is it a water kelpie, Mr. Dempsey?
What now?
That's from a bit of banter from Picasso and Ferraldo.
Isolde leading here on the turn with bottom pair and a flush draw. Ricardo peeling with his pair. Flush on the end for Isolde.
Oh, he's bet full amount. I think he's probably still going to get called here with Jack 7, no diamond.
I don't think he's calling Ludo.
Well, he doesn't have a 9 or a 10 in his hand. I think he's calling.
Haha. Baller saying, oh, okay, so it's in September when I finally get to meet my idol Gaston. Hopefully Gaston will play that WSOP circuit event. Oh, Ricardo under pressure here. This is the Isolde effect, right? Ludo got it right. Ludo knew. Ludo Solver is running perfect tonight. Machine 2019. Am I going to the World Series of Poker Circuit event in 2 weeks? Probably not at the moment, but if my plans fall through, then almost certainly yes. I am supposed to be going to France when it's on, so a little difficult.
What was the question there, sorry?
If I'm going to the WCP circuit event in the UK in 2 weeks, will you be there?
It's in the UK, it's at Dustle Dawn, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be there. There's a lot going on in April as well. So many tournaments going on, there's so much to choose from. But I'm pretty sure I'll be there. I'm like 90% sure I'll be at Dustle Dawn.
Yeah, I'd like to play it, but I'll have to see. Of course, actually, now I think it. Am I right in saying, Ludo, that falls over the sort of first week of April?
Yeah, it's like April's so much going on. It's like Irish Open.
Yeah.
I think WPT Amsterdam will just be finishing as well. And what else have we got? We've got some sort of thing in Rosvedov There's like a €2,650, 1 million guarantee PLO event.
The big wrap.
It's like insane. So, and there's something else going on as well. I don't even know what else, but there's like 4 or 5 events that are quite well known.
Kevin, from under the gun, raising it up, and Angel 3-betting from the cutoff with King 10 of diamonds. Going after the early position raise, Ludo. You like it, yeah?
I like it. I don't mind it, yeah. The King 10 of diamonds is fine, obviously. He's just going to bin it.
Into the bin.
That's fine, yeah. He can peel there as well, but it's fine to fold. If he just doesn't think, you got to remember, this is the first hand he's done that. If that's been happening a couple of times, I'm saying, like, for sure, like, Kevin calls Queen 9 of hearts.
LP the God saying he sat it into the Irish Open for €11 on Party Poker.
Lovely jubbly.
And not only did you sat in for €11, but Ludo is going to buy you a drink if you say hello to him.
I shall buy you a Jaeger bomb.
There we go. LP the God. Introduce yourself to Ludo in Dublin and you will get a Jaeger bomb.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be at the Irish Open.
If he's there.
I've been to the last 2 or 3.
We have to do is remind him that you're a Saints fan.
I'm a Saints fan.
No, that LP the God's the Saints fan and that Gaston Ramirez is no good.
All right, okay.
And then you'll know. You'll be like, I remember LP the God. We're having Gaston Ramirez banter. Bula Core, how much is there until you announce the winners of the ticket? Well, I did mention that briefly earlier. We have extended the entries for that because of the short running in today's stream. So the winners will be announced on social media later. So if you are just hanging on before going to bed, don't worry. You won't miss the answers. They will go out on social media later and be announced tomorrow. Gaston limp calls the raise at ace-6 of clubs. Angel with ace-5 of diamonds, and we see 8-7-3. Gaston checks. Ten of diamonds on the turn. Gaston checks. Angel with a flush draw now checks behind. They both pair the ace on the end, which will make this pot his split if it gets the showdown.
It should bet like 80,000, maybe 120,000 tops.
I can bet big against Gaston.
Well, he shouldn't bet any more than half the pot. He's not got a good kicker as well. Yeah, he's went small, which is... I would have thought 80,000 is fine. He's went 65, that's okay.
Gaston, of course, will call, and this one will be chopped up. Stacks McGavin asking, will we be at the Millions North America Montreal? I'm pretty sure we'll both be there, right, Ludo? You'll be...
I'm pretty sure I'll be there.
How would you not be there, man?
I enjoyed the last one.
You'll be there.
I'll
Stop
probably be there, yeah.
You know you'll be there, and I will be there. Of course, we will be streaming from Millions North America in late May.
Montreal was amazing, actually. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Players from limit number 3, 8 max. 2 blinds, 50,000, 30,000 is a big blind
Gaston under the gun. The man of action raising 10-9 diamonds, 80,000 to play.
That's one of the better
Yeah,
hands that he's
looking
been involved with.
But he's raising bigger this time, over 3x, playing 10-25 for our last level of the day.
He wants to play a big
And
pot.
The chairman not going to play King Jack of Hearts. That's a little on the tight side.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mike there, he was in a bad position.
Right, undergun and then undergun +1. Just decides, you know what?
Yeah, so even if he feels as if he's been a bit out of line, he still has to go through the 6 players or whatever that's behind him.
Right.
Some diamonds wouldn't go amiss for the ace-3 of diamonds.
King 10 4 3 spades. This one checking through Gaston. Just it's Gaston, isn't it? So trip 10's on the turn. Eric checks. Gaston says no. Not yet. Bet 75. Well, Eric shortly ace-3. No spade. Just has to let that one go, even if he thinks he's ahead. Mike's thinking, whew, King Jack.
Would have lost a few quid.
The Gaston show late on day 1.
What do you think? Do you think I'll get on this table tomorrow? Have some fun?
Do you think you'll get on this table or we'll get him on this table?
You get him on this table.
I
Hopefully,
want to get him on this table.
Hopefully, if I get extremely lucky and get drawn against him on the table, and we can have some big actions, some big pots.
Yeah, I mean, Gaston's my #1 choice for the feature
The
tomorrow.
both of us are going to play some entertaining stuff, for sure.
Yep. You can never work out what you're doing and what he's doing, right?
Yeah, nobody can work out what I'm doing.
Mike under the gun, 7-8 diamonds, raising it up. Isildur flats, a couple of seats down, King, Queen. Gaston coming along with King 6 off from the big. Don't do this at home, people.
I don't know about that. I would do it if that's the case.
10-6-4. Mike flopping a double gut shot draw and backdoor diamonds. Gaston cutting out chips for a lead.
He's went big. He's went 150.
Yeah, into 2. Mike with a pretty clear call here.
Mike's got to be loving this hand. This is one of the most disguised hands ever if it comes in. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be a big scare card if he does make his hand.
And Mike calls. Isildur gets out of the way. Deuce on the turn. Gaston 6 still good.
Is Mike going to take a free one? Is he going to hammer it?
I think Mike's just got to take a free one here, right? He blocks the bluffs on the flop, doesn't he? All the donk leads with gut shots and straight draws and whatnot. Well, Gaston's got the river again, and he'll win at showdown again if he can get there.
Well, Mike knows he can't win with 8 high. He might go for it. He's giving it up.
He just shrugs and gives up.
He does beat 5-7. That's like one hand.
Yeah. There you go. Gaston winning yet another pot on our feature table. So you heard the announcement there during that hand. These guys are going to play their last 3 hands of the night on day 1B. 3 more hands. Then they will come back and mix in with the day 1 survivors, the likes of Ludo.
Right, okay, can I get a chance to get my 100 back since he's not going to take off his jacket?
Go on.
I think Gaston will win at least one of the 3 hands.
You got it.
If he wins one of the last 3 hands, we'll level. If he doesn't, I owe you 200.
You got to bet.
Okay?
You got to bet. I'm even rooting for you to win this one because I just want Gaston to win some pots. Ah,
That's a bad start for me.
Fabian's moved all in from the hijack.
So we need Gaston to pick something up here, like even disaster, he folded. So I'm down to 2 hands.
Fabian just deciding 200k. Let's just get the queen 3 in.
The way it's going anyway, it's been Gaston's day. So the most likelihood is he's going to win the last hand. He's ran the show all day. He's got the chips. He's going to close it off in fashion and just win the last hand.
And he's in the button of the cutoff the next 2 hands.
And you're only as good as the last hand. And he's going to win it.
The troll boss are asking, end of stream in 3 hands or a table redraw? No, it will be the end of the stream. I'm afraid it is the end of the day here in a shortened day because of the very long coverage of yesterday's final table. So we couldn't get back in soon enough to give a long coverage today. There was an argument we could have bought you a couple more hours today, but there was an hour dinner break, so it'd be silly to stream 2 hours, then an hour break, then come back and do 4 hours. So we thought, come in after dinner. These guys are settled down, and I think it's worked out pretty well, Ludo. We've had a fun table.
Here comes. I've only got 2 more chances here to get my 100 back.
Fabian's all in again.
Here we go. He's making a... Oh, I'm going to get my 100 back.
Gaston's got the 8s.
Unless he makes a 5.
And we just saw a 5 folded. Ace 5 folded. You got to fade 1 out, Ludo, for 100 reals.
And Gail can't call. Here we go. I need to just fade a 5 and a break even. What? Imagine Mike just took off his jacket in the last hand.
No,
How good would that be?
No, that couldn't be good.
How good would that be?
Fabian all in. Needs a 5 at the end of day 1B.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva. Oh, close.
Oh, 4-4-6. He picks up a little bit of backdoor straight equity.
Okay, we're going to have to call in the 3 in the turn.
King, no use.
Such
Just
a shame.
a 5 for Fabian. 9 is no use. He is out. Gaston over 6 million and Ludo breaking level.
I'll take that. It's better than a loss.
Every day you break level is a good day.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mark Fedorowski. This is a great stream. Thank you. Glad you guys have been with us. Even though it's a short stream for our usual standards, we do have much more coverage coming tomorrow, though. We will start at the first break tomorrow, so we're looking at 2:15 local with a 30-minute delay. So you're looking at 2:45 Rio time for our stream tomorrow. Well, Gaston show is nearly done. Mike just has to keep the jacket on for a few more seconds.
Now I'm free rolling.
Gaston coming in to win the last hand. You should get bonus ready if he wins 2 of them, Ludo.
I'm happy with that. Are you willing to give me some?
Angle in the small. 7-6 offsuit. He won't continue surely against Gaston. It's just up to Isildur. And he's going to give up the king deuce off. Gaston won 2 of the last 3.
Am I getting some extra dough?
I'm going to give you a hug, Ludo, and a beer.
Aye.
Sounds pretty good, right?
I'll take a hug and a beer. Especially in this climate. It's a bit chilly in here.
It is chilly, and there is the man who finishes this table as the chip leader. A huge stack, 6.2 million. Although it's hard to tell that's correct looking at his chips, Ludo, isn't it? We were skeptical earlier.
I don't think he's got 6 million.
But he's got a lot.
He's got a lot, but like...
This man's still in the mix, a former Millions main event champion. He has 1.8 million. That equates to 73 big blinds. Doesn't he look thrilled about it? Mike Sexton also through the day. And guys, as I said, well, there you go. Gaston's huge chips, if that is correct, 208 big blinds. Mike and Victor on his heels. And, well, Ricardo's going to come back a little bit short tomorrow, 15K, 30K. Ludo's coming back with 100 bigs, though.
But Ricardo's still in the mix. And that's what matters.
In the mix. And guys, we'll be back in the mix for Millions South America main event day 2 coverage tomorrow here at the Copacabana Palace. The stream will start at 2:45. We look forward to having you then. Just a quick shout out, thanks to Ludo and Midi for helping me this evening in our day 1B coverage. Until tomorrow, good night.